Hey everybody, and welcome to M Class Podcasts.
Oh, we're back. Oh, shit.
We're back, and it's not even 4 weeks later yet.
Not yet.
Shit.
It's gonna be close, though.
Oh, shit. I'm your host, Jeff.
I'm Josh.
And we're two wild and crazy guys who love us some really stuffy sci-fi.
We are very, very serious about Star Trek. So serious.
No jokes at all in this podcast, so if you're looking for jokes, you turn your happy ass around and you stop listening.
I'm gonna edit them all out, you butt.
Just bleep them out. Anytime someone says a joke, just bleep it until it's done.
Oh my god, I just have to bleep the whole podcast.
Just be a fucking test signal.
That'd be great. Let's just do that.
Maybe on April Fools. Maybe.
Oh shit, now they know.
Everyone who heard that, unhear it so we can do it as a joke.
Yeah, forget about it.
This is the final episode in our pilots collection.
It is.
And boy, what a journey it has been. The highs and lows.
It's been a long time. Getting from there to here. It's been something.
I can't get that mad since I set you up for that so completely perfectly.
I had to do it. If I didn't, I would have had to fire myself.
I tossed the ball up into the air and you slam dunked it. And
That was an alley-oop, man.
I can't blame anyone but myself for letting the ball go.
But our time is finally here.
Just do this for the rest of the podcast. Just sing the song.
I don't know the rest of the motherfucking words. My cat came over to sit on me. Go away!
Faith of the heart.
Something in my mind is breaking. Those aren't the words.
I don't know the words. It's Rod Stewart's most popular hit that he didn't sing.
They couldn't get Rod.
No,
so they had to get.
I knew the guy's name, but I don't care anymore.
Yeah, he gets credit for doing like the other version too. Hold on.
It doesn't matter. None of it matters.
It doesn't.
This week,
Dennis McCarthy. I found it.
Thank you, Dennis McCarthy, for whatever the fuck you did to the Star Trek franchise.
TV's own Dennis McCarthy.
This is the Enterprise pilot. It's called Broken Bow.
Yeah.
And it's an hour and 20 minutes long, and it's actually not that bad.
It's all right, right? It's not bad.
It's not bad. I went into it with a hard soda in hand, like the adult I am.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I was going to have to get a couple more to finish it, but I didn't even finish the one I was drinking. I'm still drinking it, as a matter of fact.
These pilots for Star Trek are always like 2 episodes made into one, right?
Yeah.
So even like the episode break is like really good. Like it's kind of, it's like a mini cliffhanger, not really,
Yeah,
but like
it's like by the end of the commercial break, you would have been like on the edge of your damn seat at that point.
Yeah.
You would have been like, oh god, what's gonna happen to Trip Tucker?
What's gonna happen to the crew of the NX-01?
I like that there's a baseball hat in the future. I like that survived. Not baseball, but a baseball cap survived.
That makes sense, I guess, right? It's a type of a hat. People don't wear bowler hats to go bowling anymore, but they're still hats,
Was
right?
that a thing?
I don't know. I just made that up. I just made it up.
It sounded so real.
I just made that. I don't fucking know what they were for.
I would absolutely believe that if you would have just said it with conviction. If you
then
like,
yes, for sure.
So your John Larroquette fun fact of the week for you right there.
Oh shit. Oh, how interesting.
I've actually got one already. We'll get to that though.
Oh, fuck yes.
It's I've got a couple for you.
Oh god.
Don't count them. If you're
I like how they're
this podcast.
I was gonna say, like, I like how they're like astronauts. Like, they're not like Star Trek people yet,
no,
right?
They're wearing basically like NASA jumpsuits.
Yeah, they're like astronauts still. Like, that's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, and it fits in with the really, really schmaltzy, cheesy ass opening that shows all the progress through human history towards space.
It is cool. Like, I mean, the song is really dumb because this was 2001, right? And
yes,
this was on the CW or the WB, whichever it was.
It first aired September 26th, 2001.
What a not great time to air a show.
Probably not the best time to debut your television show.
Yeah.
The nation had their TVs on something completely different at that time.
A little more not good.
Yes. It was written by Rick Berman, and Brandon Braga.
Okay.
Rick Berman's name is on the script of every pilot that he's even remotely involved with.
So he didn't write it.
No, there's no chance.
No, this is too good for Rick Berman.
No, fucking Rick Berman.
Berman.
I
put my name on it. I'm Rick Berman.
My name's Rick Berman. Give me all your money.
We're gonna do a new Star Trek. It's gonna take place in the past.
Again.
See?
It's called Discovery.
We're gonna do it over again and over again.
Is Rick Berman involved with Discovery?
No, hell no. No, he's not. He's out of it. He's out of the game.
It's probably for the best.
He's probably close to being dead by now.
This episode was directed by James Conway, who directed quite a few episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
There you go.
Including Duet, Necessary Evil, The Way of the Warrior, and Little Green Men.
Ah, the fucking Roswell episode.
Yeah, which is a fun episode.
That's a super fun one.
He's a big-time Star Trek director, man. He did 3 episodes of TNG, 7 of Deep Space Nine, 4 of Voyager, and 4 of Enterprise.
Oh, which Enterprise ones did he do?
I wish I knew to tell you.
You didn't.
Oh,
you don't know?
Yeah, I do know. Broken Bow, Judgment, Damage, and In a Mirror Darkly.
Oh, so he did the Mirror episode.
Yeah, which is everybody's favorite Enterprise episode.
Yeah, everyone loves it, but I don't. It's not. I don't like Mirror episodes. I'm sorry.
The only Mirror episodes that I genuinely like are the first one in TOS and any of the ones in Deep Space Nine where Kira wears a leather outfit and acts all horny. Those are good. I mean, well written. They're well written episodes. I don't really like them. They're all like kind of silly, but
they're goofy as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And like this one's like super fan heavy. The Enterprise one is.
Yeah, they like not only is there like an evil timeline, but they also time travel.
Yeah,
so you get to see TOS shit too.
Yeah, they just throw the fucking like kitchen sink at it, right?
And they wear regular TOS uniforms. They don't wear mirror TOS uniforms.
Yeah, they change into the regular ones. Yeah.
Whatever.
Hey, whatever, man. Didn't save your show though, did it?
Oh, you know you're right. When you're
and
right,
I fucking
you're right.
love this show. I love this show, man. I will go to bat for this show.
After watching this pilot again, I feel like the next 10 episodes really soured my opinion of the show.
Yeah,
but
it's real slow.
That's
it's a little slow.
of any Trek series, right? The first season of a Trek series is usually not that good. TOS being the only exception.
Yeah, you gotta remember that they were building up to like a bigger thing, right?
Yeah,
and
the
like,
whole temporal Cold War, which we learn about in this episode.
There's that. Yeah, which I think is a really cool way to make a prequel, right? Like,
yeah.
So now it's not just like, well, here's a prequel. Now it's like there's shit happening in the Star Trek present, quote unquote, like that's affecting the timeline. So you're kind of seeing it from like that point of view too. Like,
it's a great way to give a reason for people to tune in. It's like with a prequel, you always run the risk of it just being like, well, we already know what's going to happen.
Right.
Why does it matter?
We have to fill in these blanks and hit these beats, and there's the show, right?
But if like
or the movie,
if the timeline is being disrupted, then anything can happen. And it's funny, we get so many episodes where like, oh shit, time has shifted or whatever because somebody fucked with the past, and now we have to go back and save it. And we're seeing the opposite side of that,
right?
Which is a great idea for a sci-fi.
Yeah, it's really
show.
cool. It's super cool. I don't know. It does not get enough play. People complained about it so much when it was on. They were like, oh, it's this temporal stuff. And it's like, that's how they're doing the prequel, so you don't have to be bored.
It just, Just sit back and relax. Watch this fucking TV show.
Watch the Star Trek happen. Go.
I mean, I guess a lot of people could say that about Discovery, but I mean, I haven't really gone on record. I haven't really gone on record saying anything too harsh about Discovery just yet. So
I haven't either. There's some things where we'll talk about it. Oh, there's another cat coming up here. Great, this is wonderful.
Boy.
I'm having the best cat day of my life.
Oh, my cat's acting very well behaved right now. Actually, she shut the fuck up for the podcast.
Hold on, I gotta deal with this. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
We're not gonna pause. We're just gonna leave this cat part in.
All right, I guess I'll just.
Everyone who's a cat, let's go.
I'll just talk to the audience, I guess.
Come on, you.
You guys like Star Trek? Because I don't.
Go.
I'm only really doing this podcast so that I can kill Josh and wear his skin.
Get out.
Thankfully, he'll never hear this because he's messing with his cats. And if he ever really heard what I'm saying right now, it would probably be really bad for the podcast.
What the fuck did you just say?
What? No, I didn't say anything. Why would I ever? I sat quietly and waited for you to get back.
All right, Pennington. Your ass is grass.
Oh no, he's the lawnmower.
That's the other half of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm the lawnmower.
Yeah, which makes it even lamer.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully all that gets cut out, but it probably won't.
Nope. It's staying in.
Let's start at the beginning of this episode. The beginning of this episode starts with a flashback that you would not be remiss to think is from like a completely different show. Like it's shot completely differently. The actors look like 90s regular people in it.
Yeah, looks like a commercial.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a commercial for like father-son bonding.
Yeah, like Big Brothers, Big Sisters or something.
Yeah. And we learned that Archer was a racist against Vulcans, even as a young child.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Like, whoever wrote this, like, Brandon Braga hates Vulcans. Like, he hates them.
I think it's good. I think it's really cool that they do this, though. It pays off later. It super pays off, trust me.
I know. I know where it goes and everything. I'm not going to spoil for anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
I got spoiled, but I would not be shocked if Brandon Braga was the one who wrote the baseball episode of Deep Space Nine as well.
Right, because he hates them.
Because he just fucking hates them. He's just like, Vulcans, don't want them.
Well, they really play up the Vulcans are like super like high and mighty. Like they're way into their own farts.
They're right up their own ass. The whole show.
Right up their green assholes.
Wow, you don't know.
I'm assuming it's green.
Yeah. You know what they say about assuming? It makes an ass out of you and me.
A green ass out of you and green me.
Anyway.
Is David Letterman on the show?
That's a reference nobody's gonna get anymore.
Remember Saturday Night Live when it was good?
No, yeah.
That's our other podcast.
Remember when Saturday Night Live wasn't terrible? Mm-hmm. Starring Jeff and Josh. This whole scene is just the sort of show that his dad was working on spacecrafts.
Yeah.
And that everyone hates Vulcans, I guess. I guess it's really to show that Vulcans are kind of hindering humanity's steps towards the stars because...
Yeah, they're setting up like an external... Because there's no threat on Earth anymore, right? Like,
yeah.
Everyone's pretty cool now. So no war, no hunger, none of that shit.
All solved.
So they need to have an external, like, hurdle to get over. So they make it the Vulcans, which is really great. I love it. Because, like, of course they would. Because the Vulcans are fucking assholes.
Well, they're only assholes because of the show.
Well, they're assholes not in the sense that they are assholes. They're assholes in the sense that, like, human beings would totally think that about them.
There's
right?
definitely, like, there's going to be friction between humans that are... Humans are a very emotional race.
The honeymoon's fucking over, right?
Yeah,
like,
and Vulcans
it's been like 100 years. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not... They have no emotions. They repress them all. There's definitely going to be problems with that setup. And I wish there was more stuff with the Tellarites, because could you imagine Like, fucking Tellarites trying to fit into that as well. A race that loves arguing.
They come on the show later. It's
they
also
only have,
really
like, 3
cool.
appearances in the show.
Unfortunately, the show got canceled before I think you were going to see a lot more Tellarites. Because they wrap up the Vulcan storyline, like, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Not quickly, but, like, the Vulcan storyline runs its course, and the Vulcans eventually get better, right?
They do the Andorian storyline.
And then, they do... The Vulcans and Andorians are happening kind of simultaneously.
So you figured they would get to the Tellarites afterwards. There'd be, like, big Tellarite storyline.
Because the Andorians and the Vulcans hate each other.
Yes.
And then they, like, fix that. And then the Andorians and the Tellarites hate each other. So they were getting into that, I think.
Fucking Andorians are the Scots, right?
They're so mad, yeah.
Fucking Scots and English, Scots and Chinese, Scots and other Scots. The Andorians are a very contentious people.
They're very hot-blooded for being so cold.
Yeah. They're blue and they live on an ice planet. Get it? Sci-fi.
Get it? It's fantasy, right?
I do love it.
Dude,
like,
I don't know.
Yeah, they are fantasy. The thing is, like, the Andorians don't fit into the fantasy setup in the same way the other races do.
Yeah, they're kind of like ice elves, I guess, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of like
they're like a dark elf.
Dark elf, yeah, like a dark elf.
But I mean, the Romulans are dark elves. So.
They're the dark elves, right? But the Andorians are more like an ice people.
Ice giants.
Iceman. He's an Iceman.
They're ice.
That's why his skin is that way.
Wow. I can't believe you just got ISIS'd on this fucking podcast.
That's the lady. No, that's the lady from TNG when Data gets trapped on that planet and he doesn't remember who he is. And
he's an
the teacher's like, clearly he's an Iceman.
He's from over the mountain.
He's in the mountain, yeah. And she's like a moron.
Yeah. She just made it up real quick.
Yep.
So that she'd still be the wise woman.
Yep, that's science.
Yeah.
That's how science works, right? No.
But I mean, I don't know. Brandon Braga was like, Vulcans are like elves, and I played D&D, so I hate elves.
I was a human.
I must make them hateful creatures.
Oh, man. I think I know you love Vulcans a lot, and it hurts you to see them painted this way, but I love this.
I mean, because it pays off, so...
I love it also because it's like, why wouldn't there be a society like the Vulcans who have just, like, succumbed to just bureaucracy, right? Like, they're super, like, fall in line at this point. They don't question anything. They're all about doing, like, the logical thing.
Logic is following the leader to them.
Right, exactly.
It'll take a lot to shake them out of that.
Right. So I really love that, like, turn.
I mean,
because, like,
the thing is, like, when the show started, there was no idea that the Vulcans were going to grow along with it, but they did, which is great.
Right.
Having character growth in a race of beings that shun all emotion...
Yeah.
Genius.
It's brilliant. It's crazy. And T'Pol is like the like embodiment of that, right?
She's
like
the poster child.
Right. She's the poster child for all of Vulcan society in this show.
And she is a giant asshole.
She's a super bitch.
Yeah, like massive asshole. Like
but that's Vulcans, right? Like, that's how they are. Like, they're just like, why won't you listen to us? And it's like, and humans are like, no, fuck you guys. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's like your cats, right? You're like, cats, you shouldn't get on that. That's not gonna help you. And the cat's like, fuck you, I want to do it anyway.
I'm doing it, yeah.
And you're like, oh, you're so stupid, cat. Humans are like cats, is my point. Mm-hmm. We're the cat race in space.
We're the Catians? The Cation? Catians?
I don't know. I didn't watch the animated series, so I never heard it said out loud.
I never heard it either. I've only read it.
Anyway. We get to flash forward 30 years later to the Broken Bow incident, which takes place in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
The world's most made-up, not real place.
Is it not real?
It is not real.
I would have believed it. But
I looked it up. Not real.
In Broken Bow, a spaceship lands, and 2 aliens made of Nickelodeon Floam chase Klingon through a cornfield.
Floam. I can't believe you remembered Floam.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, why the fuck are they made of Floam?
Sullivan's, man. They got Floam skin.
Yeah, for real.
Call your parents. Don't order it without their permission.
Don't order a Suliban without your permission from your parents.
I made a Suliban.
You could, real easy. You stick your face in it and mold it around your face, you got a Suliban.
Poke like a hole for your mouth, yeah.
You ready for that John Larroquette fun fact of the week?
Oh, I'm ready.
Klang is played by Tommy Lister, better known as Debo from Friday.
Yeah. Yes, I did know this one. I did know this one.
Who was also the president in The Fifth Element.
Oh man, President, what's his name? What's his name? Lindbergh.
President the Lindbergh baby. And he was actually a pro wrestler first.
I love him.
His stage name was Zeus.
I think I may remember him. Was he in the WWF at all?
I think so, yeah.
I may remember him.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, is that Debo?
He's also in Jackie Brown as the bodyguard guy.
Yeah, you know who else is in Jackie
ton
Brown?
Of shit.
Lieutenant Tasha Yar.
Oh, is she the chick?
Yeah.
No way.
That's, she is a chick in the movie, so.
She's the one who, like, does the robbery with them or whatever, and then.
She's the white lady.
That's probably her. That's crazy if that's really crazy.
That's your John Larroquette fun fact of the week.
Those are so many. That's so interesting.
Anyway, Klang shows. I thought that like this was a really inglorious way to show Klingons to begin with because he's just running from 2 guys like a bitch. But then he completely outflanks them and kills them both, and I was like, "That's a Klingon, baby."
Yeah, they're really teasing your cock right now, right? Like they're like, "Oh, there's a Klingon." Like when you're watching this show, you're like, "Okay, what's gonna be on this show? What are they gonna do?" And the first thing they show is a fucking Klingon, right?
You're like, holy shit! There was
like,
a Klingon on Earth.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Yeah, now we got a show.
Now we got a show, guys.
A farmer shoots him though.
Yeah, he blows up the silo, which apparently had dynamite inside of it.
Yeah, it had methane. Yeah, it's cow farts.
Yeah, cow farts are in it. So he blows them the fuck up like crazy.
The fucking farmer was storing all of his cow farts, so he shot him because he was angry. He couldn't have cow farts anymore.
Well, these new United Earth rules, you know how they are. You can't let your cow farts out. No. It'll cause global warming.
You definitely have to keep your cow farts in a silo now.
Yeah.
And they turn it into transporter fuel. I don't know.
Probably.
It's the future.
Fucking crazy shit going on, man.
We get the money shot, right, of the Enterprise NX-01.
Uh-huh.
And it's a pretty alright looking ship.
It's the Akira class, but a little bit flipped.
Yeah, it's like really kind of long to.
Yeah, they really like that Akira class ship. They use it like as like the standard ship in a lot of things. Like you'll see in the background of shit.
Yeah, they use the Excelsior class the same way.
They use that a shit ton, right?
Yeah.
But this is just the nacelles are like instead of down, they're pointed upward a little bit.
Yeah. I really like the Excelsior and the Akira class, so I got no complaints about it.
I know, you like the Excelsior, the Cadillac of ships.
Yeah, the stubby-ass lowrider of spaceships.
It's like the T-Bird of starships.
I love it. I would definitely want to be on an Excelsior. Not that I would see it, as I would be tiny inside it all the time.
Well, then you get to be a part of it.
Oh, man. I'm like a blood vessel inside the ship.
A cell.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Imagery, beautiful imagery.
We get this big scene, right, where Klang, whose name is a sound effect, is laid out on a table, and we meet Dr. Phlox.
Yeah.
Who is I always describe Dr. Phlox as like Neelix if you liked him.
He's better Neelix.
He is much better Neelix.
Yeah. He's played by John Billingsley, who's in all kinds of crazy shit. He's in a million things.
He's like Jeffrey Combs. He's in like a billion things.
Yeah, he's everywhere. You probably don't even know it, but you've seen him.
You don't know it because he doesn't have shit stapled to his face.
Holy fuck.
But there's some, like, big wig muckety mucks from Starfleet and some Vulcan
Admiral
assholes.
Garner and Admiral
Forrest,
yeah.
And Ambassador Saval is there, and so is T'Pol.
Yeah, T'Pol's in the background. She's like Saval's protege. You find that out a little bit later.
Oh, spoilers.
That's not really a spoiler.
But they're like, alright, this dude needs to go back to his homeworld dead. And Archer's like, no, I'm a human, and I refuse to see other cultures and give them any respect. So we're gonna save him and take him back.
I see how Jeff views this. He views this the Vulcan way.
Come on, you gotta respect other cultures.
Yeah, but he hasn't...
I wouldn't have killed him either.
He's got to develop that set of rules first.
I wouldn't have killed him either. And also, he was right not to, it turns out.
Right,
Which is the Archer way, where you just go completely against all logic and rules.
He's a cowboy, baby.
And somehow it turns out to be the right decision every time.
He's the Teddy Roosevelt of captains, for sure.
He really
He's like, I'm just going to do this. and everyone's like, wait, what?
No, that's the wrong thing. And then it actually turns out to be the right thing.
Totally works, yeah.
But Saval like yells at him, and he's like, "Wow, when your logic fails, you yell, huh? You spend too long on Earth." And Saval just like pisses himself in shame and leaves the room.
Yeah. Well, that comes back like later again too, with like the idea that the Vulcans who spend time with humans start to like develop empathy. Which is an emotion. So like tons of Vulcans like just don't live near them. They talk about it later when Archer's talking to what's her name? T'Pol about like, what did you do on Earth? Like, you didn't go see the Grand Canyon or anything?
She's like,
and
no,
she's
I was
like,
just in the Vulcan camp.
Yeah. And it's because they know, like, if they spend more like time around people, they start to like adapt and become more like human-like, which is like super not okay for them.
It would be like if you moved out into the jungle with the great apes and you started like picking ticks and eating them and shit.
Yeah, started.
Whoa. I didn't mean to sound so sexual there, but that goes into my next point. This episode is horny as hell.
Yeah, well, they're playing with that TOS, like, shit, you know?
Like, everyone is constantly talking about sex, or doing weird sexy things, or walking around in their underwear.
Yeah, well, this was on CW, and this was what they were doing then, right? Yeah. It was all, like, One Tree Hill, all this shit was going on.
You and One Tree Hill. Every episode, you bring it up now.
I don't think One Tree Hill was on when this was on, but... That was like, it's like a soap opera, right? They needed like the sexy part of the show to sell it, right?
It was like a One Tree Hill or a Dawson's Creek or a
Dawson's Creek, yeah,
or a
other thing,
other one,
one other one. Well, they added a sex room in this ship.
Oh yeah, there's
the decon room,
the fuck room where you go to fuck,
put lotion on each other and get real horny room.
Yeah. Just be angry with each other, but also caress one another.
Yeah, super mixed signals room.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. That's where, like, the television part...
I remember the other one. Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
That was not on CW. But that was, like, way before.
No? No?
That was like 1990.
That was the Dawson's Creek show.
No, it wasn't.
It was like 1990. The year 1990.
It was more like Ferris Bueller.
It was a ripoff of Ferris Bueller.
It was a ripoff.
In the first episode, he kicks over a Ferris Bueller standee.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Because the show was supposed to be a Ferris Bueller show, but they didn't get the rights.
There's another fun fact for you.
It's a John Larroquette fun fact of the week again.
How interesting.
Interesting. But you know, Archer uses his honeyed words, aka he mostly just yells at him a lot until it's decided that the Enterprise is gonna take Klang back to Kronos.
Yep, they finally get to do it.
However,
they're going out.
They have to have a Vulcan with them.
Oh no!
They have to have a filthy green-blooded hobgoblin with them.
Whoa, McCoy.
I like that Vulcan racism is still alive and well 100 years after this.
It's like full circle, right? Like, racism no longer really means anything, so you can totally say racist things, and everyone's just like, hey, whatever.
I guess I can't believe that someone would be racist in this day and age, so whatever.
But, like, he calls him a hobgoblin, and Spock's just like, all right.
Well, no matter what you call Spock, he would just be like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't have any emotions, who cares?
Let's go on to the next thing.
Do some science.
Yeah, let's look in my telescope or whatever it is. They have one of those on this ship, did you know?
Speak and spell. What is it called? Like the little, like, binoculars that you click the thing on the side to see the photos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Viewmaster.
Oh, the Viewmaster,
yeah. Look at his Viewmaster.
Yeah, he's looking at T-Rexes in there.
Oh, man, I'm so
jealous.
jealous.
I love dinosaurs. Ninja Turtles.
He's looking at the Ninja Turtles. That one's named Donnie.
I love this show. I wish it was still on. That's what he says to himself. I mean, they can never know about my love.
Love?
Vulcan.
No wonder his dad disowned him. He's
Shit.
in his basement watching Ninja Turtles and laughing.
Hey, Spock, it happened to me, too.
I understand.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break and we'll be right back with more M-Class Podcast.
For decades, we've dreamed of traveling beyond our galaxy. This fall, we will.
Neptune and back in 6 minutes.
A new era of discovery is about to begin.
Let's go.
Enterprise launches Wednesday, September 26th on UPN.
And we're back with some more Star Trek goodness.
Star Trek, baby.
Do you like Star Trek?
I love it.
I'm a big fan.
Me too.
Let's talk about some.
Where were we?
Back to my earlier point, this episode is horny as shit. Like, Malcolm Reed, Lieutenant Malcolm Reed, who is the weapons master, he has some, like, really old-timey name.
Yeah, he's the munitions armory officer.
Armory officer, yeah. Which is, like, I'm sure people on boats are called that now.
Yeah, they are.
But, and Ensign Travis Mayweather, a.k.a. Ensign, you will hardly hear this man speak again in the show.
Yeah, he's not the strongest actor on the show.
No, and they mostly just sit around and talk about, like, sex shit, like, weird sex stuff.
Yeah, think about it, though. Like, you're going out, and, like, what do? What are the rules, right?
Talk about
they
sex.
they don't live in the Federation yet, so it's like there's no, like, cure for, like, diseases and shit, right? Like, they don't know about stuff yet. It's crazy.
Like, you can talk about sex all you want in the Federation days, too. You can just do whatever.
Oh, yeah, you can just be like, I'm gonna go fuck a robot.
Yeah.
Like, literally. And they're like, yeah, cool.
Somebody would be like, well, why don't you just fuck a hologram? Be, like, a lot easier to, like, clean up and everything.
Yeah, just the ship cleans itself.
And I like to fuck a robot, man. All right, well, you know, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go fuck a hologram, but...
That's my thing. I fuck holograms.
That's my thing, Josh.
That's what I do.
I fuck holograms. How do you not know this?
Everyone knows this about you.
Anyway, we like put together a dream team, right? Or maybe it seemed like that's what they were going to do.
Sure.
But really, Archer just goes and talks to Sato.
Yeah, well, he has to pick his crew, right? And, like, this is the first deep space
but he doesn't.
mission.
Like, it seems like there should be multiple scenes of this, right? Where he goes from one person to the other being like, you gotta
No, he already
my
picked
team.
him.
But he already did.
picked him. Yeah.
Yeah, he already picked him. So this scene is, like, kind of awkward.
Well, she's there because they're not supposed to leave yet. So she has, like, she's like a teacher.
Yeah.
So she has to finish the semester, and then she gets to go do this thing. But they're leaving early because of Clang. That's why. So he has to go convince her to, like, leave the semester early.
I mean, like, in universe, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Narratively, it seems a little messy to me.
Well, they wanted to show that Sato is, like, not into it, because she, like, is super not into, like, the whole thing.
Yeah, she's definitely not, and
she, like, hates it.
It bothers me a lot.
It's not great, yeah.
Like, she's a Starfleet officer, not Starfleet. What's it called? Like, Earth...
It's Starfleet.
It's Starfleet, okay.
They retcon it, and, like, later they're like, it's just, this is the other Starfleet now. Yeah, it's still called that.
So she's a Starfleet officer. She had to go through the same exact training everyone else did.
Right.
But she's completely fucking worthless.
Right, they make her, like, real whiny and stuff.
Yeah, and she's like a damsel in distress in every scene she's in.
Yeah, it's not awesome. It's not the best.
And I mean, like, people are always complaining about my boy Mario having to rescue the princess, and she's a damsel in distress, but she's a fucking princess. She didn't go through Starfleet.
Right, also there's Koopas everywhere.
Yeah. You go through Starfleet, you should be able to handle yourself at least a little.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but you have to figure, like, think about, like, NASA, right?
Sure.
Like, there are astronauts now that, like, probably aren't great at the whole space flight thing, and they probably don't go up a lot or ever. Like, they're probably just, like, people who know about specific things and are scientists, but they don't get to go on the ship.
Maybe it was a different type of Starfleet, right? Like, because they weren't going on space missions all the time,
right.
You didn't have to go through the same type of training that somebody in, like, the 2200s would or something.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Like, they probably, like, are much more, like, inexperienced as like a institution, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they don't know how to deal with, like, what happens if you get nervous, right? Like,
this is true.
They're probably just like, just get over it. Like, that's their method.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real long time before they have counselors on board these ships.
It's been a long time until we get some counselors.
You know, I said I would never fire Josh.
It's been a long time since Josh was fired, yeah.
But
hey, it's a new day, baby. Anything can happen.
Anyway, he rounds out the crew. T'Pol is, like, forced on him, and she hates Porthos the dog because she's a fucker. Because Porthos is great.
Apparently Vulcan women can smell things like crazy.
Yeah, which I guess is supposed to be another weird, sexy thing. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's the whole, like, they make the men fight each other, right? It's very primal.
And Phlox joins the crew because we were introduced to him.
He's a Denobulan from Denobula Triaxa.
Wow, whipping out that knowledge.
They have three wives and 3 husbands each.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that are like
They're super polyamorous.
I think I mentioned that in a previous episode, that there was a race like that.
There's a really cool episode where one of Phlox's wives wants to fuck Trip, and, like, Trip doesn't know what to do, and he finally goes to Phlox, and he's like, well, did you fuck her? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, why the hell not?
What are you, rude?
Yeah, and he's like, and Trip's like, what are you talking about? That's your wife. And he's like, get over it, human.
On my planet, you just fuck whoever you want.
Yeah, there's like, it's just a fuck fest. My planet's a fuck fest.
On my planet, you don't. All right?
Denobula Menage a Triaxa.
Oh my god.
Yeah. An applause. Unbelievable.
He did it, everybody. He did it.
He's hired.
He's back on the podcast. Anyway, Admiral Forrest makes a speech, and all the humans clap, and all the Vulcans look like the humans all just shit themselves.
Yeah.
They're just all like, ugh.
Well, they bring back James Cromwell.
Yeah,
and he gets to be
it looks
Zephram.
Like maybe he's supposed to be wearing old man makeup, but he just looks like himself because he
probably just showed up. Yeah, he probably just showed up and just was like, okay, sure. But he does the speech. He does the where no man has gone before. He does all that stuff. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, which is it makes sense when he says it. It's not the same. It's not exactly the same as the opening scene.
They later like paraphrase him saying it, right? Like it becomes like a mission statement. So they fix it so it sounds like a mission statement and not him like giving a speech about stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I think that's cool.
I love that Zephram Cochrane is so completely important to the history of Starfleet.
Yeah.
And humans in general.
Yeah, he's like a #1 human man.
Yeah, and it turns
super
out he's
famous.
Huge drunk.
Yep, there you go. So that means I can be a drunk, I guess.
Yeah, can be.
If I wanted to be right now, let's drink!
Good. Are you drinking right now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm empty. I have to get another one at the break.
You blew it.
Just kidding. Don't drink, kids.
You can drink. It's synthahol. Yeah. It's easily dismissible.
It's synthahol. You don't get smashed from it. I love that T'Pol just like ruins the moment when they're all like being magical about take her out straight and steady.
It's great.
And she just
I love it.
Ruins it.
She's like, the coordinates are off 0.2 degrees, and they're like, thank you.
Thanks.
You raging whore.
Asshole. So we're introduced to all these characters one by one, right? The characters who are more interesting get a lot more of a introduction.
Right.
Like, T'Pol gets a big introduction. Phlox gets a big introduction.
Yeah.
Fucking Trip gets one. He's not really interesting, but he gets one.
Yeah, he's the everyman, though, right?
Yeah, they try.
He's like
that,
your uncle if he went into Starfleet. Like
they try and do that, right? Like after O'Brien, they try to have an everyman.
Right. It worked well with him, but only because Cole Meany is amazing.
Yeah, you can't have an everyman and then be like a mediocre actor. That is not how it works. You have to have like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
To really bring that everyman sensibility to them.
Yeah, Trip is not my favorite character in this show. He's not, he's kind of a hindrance a lot of the time, to be honest with you.
He's just like a southern stereotype, and like, I don't need to see that in my Star Trek. I can walk outside my house and see it at any moment.
I can walk outside my house. I don't even live in the South.
Yeah. They're everywhere these days.
These days.
They are everywhere these days.
Yeah,
Southies.
Southies. Go back home, Johnny Reb. Red badges, shut the fuck up. That's the wrong war. That's completely the wrong war.
That is not even in the same time period.
Nah, it's like 100 years later. Well, we see Porthos, too, and he's super important.
It's true. He's the most important character.
He's adorable as fuck.
Absolutely adorable.
And he good thing he survives the whole show. He doesn't die.
Thank you.
That's important for people to know.
We get like a Travis Mayweather and Commander Tucker scene together where they mostly just talk about how Mayweather fucked a woman with 3 tits. Yeah,
which is pretty sweet. For him, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely helps out the episode. It definitely pads the episode out to an hour and 20 minutes.
I think they wanted Mayweather and Trip to be pals in the show, but like later it becomes Trip and Malcolm are buddy. It's like buddy cop.
Yeah, Malcolm and Mayweather actually spend a lot of time together in this episode as well. They wanted Mayweather to be friends with people, but it just wasn't going to happen.
He becomes friends with like Hoshi a little bit, because they're like the junior officers, right? Like they're a little bit lower.
And that's the thing is like, Mayweather's also supposed to be like an everyman, even though he was like a space boomer. He's just a regular guy otherwise.
Yeah, he's the most normal guy in any Star Trek show ever.
Yeah, he's just dude.
Yeah, he's good at flying a ship.
He's
so that's
generic
why.
man.
Yeah, he's like Ro, but way less interesting.
He's like Harry Kim. He's like the Harry Kim of this show. He's blank. He's a blank man.
Yeah, you could attach anything to him and you'd be like, all right.
Yeah, I believe it.
He dies at one point and then gets like cloned or something, but he doesn't really die. You'll find out.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. Sounds like it.
Anyway, Archer and T'Pol have dinner.
Yeah, the captain's dinner is like a super important thing in the show. They do this a lot.
Yeah, they have the captain's dinner. It's Archer, T'Pol, and most important character, Trip, have dinner, and it's basically just like Archer and Trip being like racist at her, and her being like a giant asshole at them.
Yeah. Well, like, they're eating steak, right?
Yeah, and she's like, well, you lesser beings still eat the flesh of animals.
Yeah. And she's eating a breadstick, a crunchy breadstick with a fork and a knife. And they're like, why don't you just pick it up and eat it? And she's like, we don't touch our food. And she's like cutting it slowly with a knife.
So Josh is actually Vulcan.
Yeah, I'm more Vulcan than I am human, that's for sure. For definitely sure.
Yeah. We're both half Vulcans. That's how it works.
Do you want another half inside of your body? I'm talking about
That was the worst delivery of that I've ever heard in my life.
Do you want me to have sex with you, thus fulfilling the pun?
That was awful, and yes.
All right.
However, when they're transporting Clang, their ship just shuts off completely.
Oh, yeah.
And we get what I think is supposed to be scary scene of the Suliban.
Well, I think this scene is to show you that the Enterprise is not the Enterprise D, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's a piece of shit.
The Enterprise NX-01 is like a fucking paper airplane compared to the Enterprise D.
Yeah, but the
it's
thing
not
is,
great.
Like, the Suliban are supposed to be scary. They're all like crawling on the walls, but there's a dude who's just kind of like walking while they're all crawling on the walls, and he keeps like looking back, and they look like fucking Green Man from It's Always Sunny.
He didn't get his Floam upgrade yet. He can't go on the ceiling yet.
They all look like the fucking like the kid wearing the Sonic the Hedgehog outfit. I can't be afraid of that. You can use as many night vision cameras as you want. I can't be afraid of that.
It's definitely not scary. Like, it's not, right?
They're trying to be, though, is the thing.
Yeah, I guess you're more... I don't know. I feel like I'm, like, defending the shit out of the show, but, like... I know.
Episode. I will say that.
I just I've separated myself so much. Like, it's definitely not scary for the viewer. Like, not at all. Like,
no, but they're in a definite scary situation with these.
Yeah, the characters are
can't follow.
Right. They don't know what is going on right now. To them, this is like literally like meeting a Martian. Like they would what's happening right now, right? Like,
yeah, it's like Alien.
Yeah,
this is Aliens.
Exactly.
And they managed to kill one of them in the dark.
Yeah, kill it. Shoot it with a gun. A space gun.
Shoot it with a space gun and make it die. But they kill one, but the others get Clang and disappear with him. The ship, comes back on, but they're long gone at this point.
Yeah.
They even studied the Suliban and find out it's like a super mutant.
Yeah, like the Suliban aren't like advanced at all. They're like humans. They're just regular like bipedal class M guys.
Yeah.
But these ones have like crazy eyelids and shit. Like they can see in like all kinds of spectra.
Yeah, they got like compound eyes, and they can shapeshift, and they have like different organs.
Yeah, like their lungs are like super powerful and shit.
It's neat.
It's cool. Yeah.
Phlox thinks it's neat for sure.
He loves it. He's all horny about it.
Just everyone in this episode is horny about something.
Yeah. Phlox is super horny. He's goofy as fuck in this episode. He calms down a little bit later. He's not so like optimism. Like he's not so like goofy.
He's like Even in this episode, I would say I like him more than Neelix in Neelix's best
Oh,
episode.
for sure. Phlox on his worst day is 100 times better than Neelix on his best day.
And this is coming from a guy who loves Neelix.
I love the dance. I gift the dance to you about at least once a week.
Yeah. I just hate seeing him. He's like a kitchen rat. I don't.
He's the kitchen rat. Yeah.
I don't need to see that in my inbox.
Jesus Christ. This guy hates him.
I'm not a fan. Through some sort of fuckery, like using sensors and stuff, they find out that Klang was at Rigel X. No, they use Sato.
Yeah, she translates him saying something. I forget how that works exactly. But they find out that he was at Rigel 10.
Yeah. Which I keep calling Rigel X for some reason.
It's alright. It sounds cooler that way.
It does sound cooler. It sounds like a metal album.
Rigel X.
But, so they set course for that, even though T'Pol's like, you should report back into your Vulcan overlords.
Yeah.
Filthy ape human.
We should go back to Starfleet. And they're like, no.
She's like, but why?
And Archer's like, fuck off.
But why? And he's like,
go back to your meditation chamber, you pointy-eared hobgoblin.
He's like, because we have to stand on our own 2 feet. And she's like, the Klingons are going to murder you.
Yeah. They don't care.
And he's like, I don't even know what a Klingon is.
He's like, fuck it, we're going to Rigel 10.
So they go. They go to Rigel 10.
Uh-huh.
And, they go to, like, I don't even know, this, like, trade depot that's just, like, space fuck city, like, everyone's fucking.
Yeah, it's like a shitty port, right? Like,
yeah.
And again, like, it's cool because, like, the Federation doesn't exist yet. So, like, the galaxy that will become the Federation at this point...
It's like the Wild Wild West.
Is like the Wild West or, like, fucking, like, I don't know, like, Detroit at this point.
Yeah,
like, everything's terrible here.
Pretty much.
It's not great.
To continue the horniness in the episode...
Oh, there's butterfly strippers.
Yeah, there are strippers who eat butterflies, and Malcolm is just raging bone about this for some reason.
Yeah, he's never seen it. He wants to try this butterfly thing.
He's, like... He even thinks about letting the weird alien they're talking to introduce him to the girls.
Yeah, he's horny, man. He's British, so, you know.
Is that a thing?
They're fucking horny as hell. That's like the Austin Powers, right?
Well, of course.
Right?
Austin Powers is definitely British.
Well, they're always putting fake boobs on themselves and shit. You didn't know this?
They're always putting fake boobs on themselves.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Any chance that these people get bachelor parties, fucking... first communions, they're putting fake boobs on themselves. They're crazy about fake plastic tits.
Oh god, that's your John Larroquette fun fact of the week.
Look it up. Google it.
Interesting.
Oh, how interesting.
Anyway, they like wander around the fuck dungeon for a while, and eventually they figure out that they need to go to the lower levels.
Yeah.
And
who would have guessed?
And when they go down to the lower levels, they're just immediately captured by the Suliban. Like, everyone. We don't even see everybody else getting captured. They just do.
You just assume, yeah.
They're just in the cage when they show up.
Yeah.
Archer is taken to a really, really sexy lady.
Yeah, she's in another episode, too, which we might watch later because it's a first contact episode.
Oh.
She's a cool actor in the show, and I think they liked her because her and Archer, like, kind of have a thing going on screen. Like, they work well together.
They do. There's a lot of chemistry.
There's some chemistry there, yeah.
But it turns out she's not a sexy lady. She's made a Nickelodeon Floam.
She's a Floam person.
And she just starts spilling exposition at him, right?
Yeah, well, she kisses him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, that's never happened to me before. And like, there's that old TOS ass shit where like, I need to touch you to intimately to like know if you're lying. Like that's super Star Trek.
That's pretty TOS.
Yeah, that's like really, really Star Trek-y.
The whole like exposition dump lets you know immediately that she's gonna die.
Yes.
Like she's just like, here's all this information. Oh no, I got shot.
Yeah, because then so they're the good Suliban.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are like trying to prevent the Klingons from...
Yeah, they're like a rebellion, sort of.
Yeah.
The Suliban call them, they're like High Council, like the Cabal.
The Cabal, yeah.
Which is a great name.
It is cool.
But, the...
Cabal.
Jesus. The, like, rebel faction of the Suliban, who I guess all get shot to death in this run-and-gun scene that follows this. But, They learn next to nothing from this whole excursion.
Yeah, they learn that, like, the rebel Sulibans gave Klang the information. That's all you really know.
Which they knew that Klang had information. They just didn't know what it was.
They didn't know, and they don't know where it is, right? Like, they only know he has it. Like, to them, they think he, like, just knows it.
Yeah.
But there's, like, there's other things.
Because we see him being tortured by the Cabal Suliban, who are like, what do you know about this? And he's like, I know nothing. And they're
Silic, who's great.
Yeah, they're like pumping him full of like truth drugs. So he's telling the truth. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Anyway, our heroes escape, even though Archer gets shot in the leg and passes out like a pussy.
Yeah. He gets shot, man. That's pretty neat. That doesn't happen too much in Star Trek, right? Like,
I mean,
the captain getting shot?
Get shot all that often, and if he does, it's just a stun.
Right, but he's like...
Get a hole in his leg.
Yeah, and then T'Pol's like, I'm the captain now, bitches.
And they're all like, how does that even work? You're not even in this military. And she's like, 'cause it does. And they're like, all right.
Because we're playing fucking old school rules, bitch.
Then we get the horniest scene in the episode.
Yeah, here we go, the sex room.
Where T'Pol and Tucker get put in the decontamination chamber.
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones, the two with the most muscles... were the only ones that got some sort of a spore. This whole scene serves almost no function in the episode besides...
For the episode, it doesn't.
Besides getting people's dicks hard.
Yeah, that's the number one reason they did it. Later, they kind of like... Because, like, later on, her and him are, like, a thing. I'm not spoiling too much. I
mean, there's that episode fairly soon after this where she gets, like... She goes all Pon farr.
Yeah, well, she does that with Phlox in the sex room.
Yeah,
and she's like, "You have to have sex with me," and Phlox is like, "I don't know."
Yeah, because consent is really difficult to determine when somebody's like lust vapored up like that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works with when a Pon farr is happening. I'm not sure what the rules are.
Yeah, I would be on Phlox's team on this one, just like, I don't know.
Plus, they could just like rip you in half. They're so strong.
Yeah, twice as strong, or what? Fuck, it's like three.
They're
times?
like three times as strong. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a gorilla. That's like having sex with a gorilla.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
I'll never do that again.
Look, there were two of us in one of it, and it turned out fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Trust me.
It was fine for all three of us. But, yeah, they just rub goo all over each other for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, so, like, the decon room has, like, this salve port that the guy, like, Phlox just is like, you gotta rub this shit on your skin to get the disease out.
And, like, they rub it on each other, but, conveniently not on each other's genitals in any way.
Yeah, not on the genitals, but everywhere else that's television appropriate.
Yeah, like, nobody shoves any hands down each other's pants or anything.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Archer's back, though. He wakes up pretty immediately. He's been out for 6 hours.
Yeah, he has an eel on his leg because that's how the doctor does things now.
Yeah, he uses animals for shit, which is weird, but
it's cool.
He's a weirdo.
They don't have like super technology yet, so he's got to use like whatever he can, right?
Yeah, and he's really inventive with it. I think that's sort of my favorite thing about Enterprise from what I've seen of it is that there's a whole lot of invention going on.
Yes, there's a lot of the conventions that are in Star Trek get played with, like the transporter, which we'll see in a little bit. But they don't overuse it, right? Like they're not immediately like, oh, we have a transporter. Like they don't use it for people. They're like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, because it'd be terrifying to try out.
But as the show goes on, like they get more and more comfortable with it, and they use it more and more. Which is kind of cool, because, like, that's how it would really be, right? Like,
yeah. You would be,
I don't know.
You wouldn't use it all the time immediately.
Yeah.
Archer automatically assumes that T'Pol has turned them back towards Earth.
Yeah.
It turns out she didn't, and it's never particularly explained why she makes that decision.
Yeah, she sort of, I guess, changes her mind. I don't know. You begin to see her, like...
She's like changing.
Yeah, she's becoming part of the crew. Because prior to this, before they went to Rigel, like, she brings Captain Archer the translated Klingon, and he's like, oh, there's a bunch of names and stuff here that we don't know what they are. And she's like, well, one of them's Rigel, and oh, by the way, that's like 15 light years away.
Yeah,
and he's like,
that's where Klying was before he came to Earth.
And he's like, well, good thing you decided to tell me. And he like yells at her and shit, because she's not too into it, but she's starting to like see what is like the value of this mission is, right?
Yeah. I also love that Archer gives like a captain's log, but he just keeps interrupting himself to talk to his dog.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That's cool. I love Porthos. He's awesome.
Porthos is my favorite character on the show.
He's super adorable, dude.
He mostly just sits in a little bed, but
and he wags his tail.
It's very cute. But we arrive at a gas giant.
Yeah. Type 7.
Type 7. And they're like, well, fuck, we lost the warp trail.
Uh-huh.
And then through classic Star Trek computer magic, they figure out the trail, and it goes down to the surface of the planet.
Yep. Star Trek.
They just press some buttons, and shit aligns, and it points to the planet, and it's like, go here!
Yeah. It's kind of cool, because, like, T'Pol and Archer are on the same page, finally.
Yeah, they start working together.
They work together, right? So that's neat. But, like, yeah, the science of them doing this is like, oh, enhance. Oh, figure out the trajectory. And then it just, like, does it, right?
They're pressing buttons.
Yeah, they're pressing buttons.
This whole episode makes me, like, question what Malcolm's actual job is on the bridge, because he's doing all the science officer shit.
Yeah, he's like a all jack of all trades right now. Plus, like, they don't have really anything for him to do yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's kind of like a gun guy, and, like, they don't have a lot of gun stuff going on, so...
He, like, makes every weapon from here on that they use.
Yeah,
which is great. Crazy. That's the thing I always talk about. Like, I'm a big fucking Starfleet security guy. I love Starfleet security. Yeah. And I love that every security chief on every ship has their own thing, and Malcolm's is that he's, like, the inventor.
Yeah.
He invents all the technology that people take for granted later.
Yeah, like when they get like phasers, which happens pretty immediately.
Yeah, in this episode they get phasers.
Well, they get the pistols, but when they get the ship phasers, they don't know how to work them. Like they're like, we don't know how this works. And then he like figures out how to work it, like so it's super powerful and shit. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
And it makes you wonder, like, he just brings the phase pistols up in this episode. Did he make those?
I don't know. I guess he was the one in charge of them, I would assume. Like, Starfleet probably, like, briefed him and was like, okay, here's this new thing. It's called a phaser. But we call it phase pistols or whatever.
It's a phase pistol. And, like, he He says that line, right, that Spock says in TOS, that Riker says in TNG, that Cisco says in Deep Space Nine, that, here, this is a phaser, it has 2 settings, stun and kill. Try not to mix them up.
It would be best not to confuse them.
Yeah, it would be best not to confuse them. Like, someone says it in every Star Trek series.
Think about it, though, like, it's just a button. One of them kills you, one of them doesn't. Like, that's crazy. That's like if a gun could not kill people, if it could stun people, but it could also kill them. Like, well, I hope it's on the sun setting, because I don't know.
You better remember which is which.
Yeah, it's a super important thing to remember.
But they go to the planet. They go to the planet, and it's got different atmospheric layers that do different things.
Like a delicious cake.
Like an ogre.
Like an what? An ogre?
Like an onion.
Oh, an onion.
Like an ogre. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. I'm referencing a masterpiece, Josh.
I gotcha.
I wish I wasn't. I don't know why that popped into my head immediately, but it did.
Yeah, they find like a super helix.
Yeah, it's like they find this fucking like space station, which is like, if you're looking at it from afar, you can tell that it's based on the Starfleet space stations from like TNG and Deep Space Nine. But it's just got little pieces all over it.
Yeah, they glued a bunch of computer models on it to make it look different.
Which is, I'm not gonna hate on it. You know, you use what you got.
I didn't notice it the first time so I give it a pass. Like, if I don't notice it immediately, like, it's all right.
Yeah, like, I've seen this episode before and I didn't notice it. So
right.
But it is cool that it's like this gigantic system of interlocking.
Like
magnet seals is what they are. Yeah. And the entire ship just has them all over it, and that's what it's made out of for the most part.
Yeah, it's cool.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, I didn't play a whole lot of Mass Effect, but they have that, the race of people that are like space wanderers.
Oh, yeah. I don't know their name. I only played the first one. I don't remember.
But they have like the giant spaceship that's just made out of smaller spaceships.
Yeah.
They stole it from this.
It's very Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, you and Battlestar Galactica.
We're gonna watch it.
Man, we'll see.
We're gonna watch it.
I'm starting to get like, I'm fighting back against it a little bit. I'm starting to get a little crotchety about it.
You are a foolish man.
I won't let my pride.
You are a fool!
I won't let my pride be before my fall. They have this like ridiculous like harpoon gun on their ship.
Oh, what is that? I don't remember that.
It's like when it's the grappler, right?
Oh, the grappler. Yeah, instead of a tractor beam.
They have a grappler, which is a harpoon gun.
There'd be whales here.
Yeah. It would work out great in Star Trek 4.
Yeah.
But they use a harpoon to capture one of the ships, and then they
just
fly
get
it down.
Yeah, and the guy ejects, like, G.I. Joe style out of the fucking ship.
Which is hilarious. I did laugh at that.
It's pretty funny. I was like, that guy is straight up G.I. Joe right now. He's just getting out of that ship.
But they figure out how to work the ship, even though it's all alien tech.
Yeah, they got Hoshi. She can, like, translate
She's not
that
even
shit.
in the room.
Yeah, they just figure she did it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine.
Yeah, sure.
They're trying to figure it out. They have it's a pretty funny scene where they're trying to figure out like they're trying to teach Tucker how to drive it, but he's an idiot, so he can't remember anything.
It's not that one. Yeah, and Mayweather's getting really mad.
He's like, just let me fly it.
Yeah.
And Archer's like, there's only one guy on the whole ship that can fly something, so you have to stay here, Mayweather.
Hope you don't get sick ever, dude, because you gotta fly the fucking ship.
No sick days, ever. I wonder if the ship even has, like, autopilot. Like, you just have to fly it forever.
Oh my god, that would be terrible.
Look, I gotta get a nap in. We gotta park the ship for a few hours.
We gotta stop going to warp. Gotta hide behind a moon or something.
So Archer wants to go down to the planet's surface because he's a captain in Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
And T'Pol's like, no, don't. I love you. And he's like, what? And she's like, I mean, I'll get in trouble.
Pretty much.
And
Yep.
we get the introduction to the phase pistols.
Yeah, they kind of look like a cool cross between like a Star Trek gun and a 1950s like what's that called? Buck Rogers.
Oh yeah, like
it's real sciencey fictiony. It's a ray gun.
Yeah.
They call it a ray gun a few times in another episode.
Which I'm fine with. I love a ray gun.
Yeah, good ray gun goes a long way with me too.
Hell yeah. There's something about classic sci-fi that I'll never get enough of.
Yeah.
But you know what? Before they go down to the planet's surface, why don't we take a break?
Oh shit, I forgot.
We'll be right back after this message from something hopefully related to Star Trek.
Yes?
I have a petition here to stop the Space Channel from showing so much Star Trek. Could I please get your signature?
What show?
Star Trek. Look at the space schedule here. Star Trek the original, Star Trek the Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager. It's all they play. And it's gotta stop.
Do they play Magnum P.I.?
No, ma'am. They don't. They play Star Trek. The only people that watch this crap live in their basement and have no lives. They wear stupid costumes, go to conventions, and call themselves captain and stuff. It's gotta stop, and will you please sign my petition?
Well, I still don't know what you're talking about, but I'll get my son to sign for you. Gary, get up here, dear. He lives in the basement. Such a nice boy.
Butak!
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Doha Jupadak Hasta. Charkum Raj.
Get ready for more Star Trek Enterprise, the new series, coming this fall to space.
And we're back.
Oh shit.
So, our heroes,
Yeah.
Tucker and Archer,
Go on to this crickety magnet space station.
yeah, they go over to the Helix.
Yeah, the Helix, that's what it is.
And they mostly just like wander around for like 2 seconds and then murder an alien over and over again.
Yeah, they shoot a bunch of Floam guys. There's like a shitload of them. They have a bomb though, right? They have like
they have like some sort of like an EMP thing. That's
like a decoupler or something.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
like
know.
deactivates magnetic couplers.
Yeah.
Within like a mile radius or whatever.
Yeah. So they put it on like the center of this thing and they like set it off. Oh, they get Clang first, right?
Yeah,
like
they get
find
Clang
him.
and they have trouble to begin with. Like he tries to murder Tucker.
Yeah, because he's a Klingon, and of course.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a language barrier, but he slowly realizes that they're like rescuing him.
Yeah, not trying to kill him or whatever.
And they escape with him, and he even like murders some people.
Yeah, he picks one of them up and like punches him right in the face.
Yeah.
Like a Klingon.
has,
That
like-
guy is like 8 foot tall, so.
Yeah, he's in real life he's 8 feet fucking tall.
He's huge.
But he like you get like the Indiana Jones sound effect punch when he picks up the guy. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah. That thunder punch.
I love that sound effect.
Yeah.
It's not really that one. It's actually like a comical cartoon.
It's like a yeah. The UPN had like a sound effect library, and they're like, "This sounds like a punch we could use."
And then like they do the cartoon punch, and then they all run around the corner, and their legs go.
And then they run into one magnetic seal, but they come out like the exact opposite.
And 70s rock plays.
It's like a Jerry Reed song. Fucking Scooby Doo.
Like Archer's like, leave me behind, don't take me with you, and Tucker's like, why? And he's like, because. So they do. And
Yeah, they do it because why not?
they just leave him, and Archer goes into the time room,
Yeah, which is super trippy.
and it is really weird.
It's like time, like I guess it's like a decompression chamber for time or something, right? Like it's like things are happening there's like an image of the future happening while the present is taking place. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, so it's like everything he does is done twice. Once by a before image, not an after image, and once by him.
It's like the probability of him doing that is being calculated. It's like fucking weird. I don't know how it works.
It is a crazy room.
Yeah.
The leader of the Suliban,
Silic. He's great. He comes back later a lot, and he gets like really cool.
Well, that's cool. It's cool that Nickelodeon Floam returns to the show.
Yeah, he's in a lot. He gets the Floam put on him.
And I wonder if they actually used Floam, because it looks exactly like it.
It's that makeup that they were using, like, at this time. Like, a lot of things look like that. You know how things look now? Like, in Discovery? Yeah. Like, everything looks like that now? This is how things look then. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess it's like an industry standard thing for, like, creature making or whatever.
Right. Like the creature shops were using that type of shit. I don't know.
I guess. It looks really
Weta.
dumb, but...
Well, this is a UPN show in 2001.
Well, you got me there.
It's not great. I think honestly, like, we could talk about this later, but like I feel like the computer generated stuff, most of it's really good, but some of it's way worse than the makeup is.
Oh yeah, like the flattening and everything looks really fucking bad.
Yeah, there's some weird shit that they weren't quite good at yet. So where was I? Oh, yeah, they leave him, and they have, like, a laser fight with one laser. Even though every time you shoot the laser, it causes, like, a feedback. Yeah, it, like, makes the room, like, explode.
And they finally, like, make it out into the hallway, and they're just, like, tussling around. And Silic gets the phase pistol, and just as he's about to shoot Archer gets transported. First guy in the series.
They do that right away. Uh-huh.
And he does a great, like, if he had something in his mouth, it would have been a spit take.
Yeah, he does, like, oh my god, what did you just do to me? Face.
Which is
like,
great.
It's pretty good. He, like, gasps. He's like, because he's like, oh my god, like, you transported me. Like, he's never done it before.
Mostly no one has, for the most part.
Except for the guy who invented it, whose name I don't remember right now.
Oh, I don't remember either.
He's played by...
Cochran.
He's played by a guy who's in also 100 movies. Oh my god.
God, you're just gonna look it up, aren't you?
I'm looking it up. It's gonna bother the shit out of me, man. Guy who invented transporter.
Star Trek.
I don't want to get it one. Emery Erickson.
Ah.
And he is played by somebody.
Aren't we all?
Wow, that's super fucking deep. That's super deep, dude.
I know.
Oh my god. The guy who he is played by, I've met the guy in real life.
But you don't remember his name. Shameful.
Yep. I'm a terrible human.
Shameful. Well, they transport Archer up, and they just immediately go to Cronus, and, like, Klang just takes them to the Klingon High Council chamber, even though, like, it shows him, like, Sato is there, so I guess they just use her to translate.
Sure.
I find it a little strange that Sato is able to pick up Klingon well enough to converse in it.
She's like a genius. Yeah, she's like a super genius.
Uhura doesn't know it in, like, Star Trek 6.
I like that Uhura's. Well, I like how Uhura's just like, I'm just a regular officer. Like, it's kind of neat, right? Like, she's just like, I'm just here doing my job. But yeah,
she's great at repair and maintenance of communications arrays.
She's got other skills, not language skills.
She's also good with a phaser, so...
That's true, and a fan dance.
Oh, hell yeah. But it turns out that Klang actually had the secrets of the Suliban in his blood.
Yeah, like
which is
proteins.
Klingon as fuck.
Yeah, it's super Klingon.
It's always funny to me when Klingons are, like, doing tech things. Yeah. It just looks ridiculous.
They're so big and like clumsy in a way that it like looks goofy.
Giant like monsters, and they're just pressing computer screens. Beep boop beep boop.
Yeah, like you know that there's like Klingons who are like super good engineers, but they never look like they are because they're just like like that's all they
warriors, right? They just gotta be yelling. As scary as possible.
Yeah, they're just kicking shit, right?
And everything turns out for the best.
Yeah.
And everybody gets to go on a space adventure.
And thus begins the Enterprise journey.
Dun, 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 dun. I mean...
I wish. It's been a long time. At the end of the episode, you get like a super acoustic slowed down version of the song. I don't know if you watched it on Netflix.
I did.
And it's like... It's like real slow. It's like, oh my god.
So cheesy. Cheesy.
It's super cheesy. Like, it's really fucking bad. But
the episode itself is actually really entertaining.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
There are of course things that I take issue with, but it's part of the show.
Yeah.
And it serves a purpose in the overall narrative, which I could never fault a show for.
Yeah, this show, out of any Star Trek, like if you're watching Discovery right now and you're like, oh my god, I love how the shows connect, that's what this show does. This show did it 17 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, if I had to pick one of the shows that was really felt more serialized, and not just one episode that's a one-shot after another, it'd probably be Enterprise. I mean, there's a lot of one-shot episodes.
Yeah.
But there's a big overarching like plot that changes out for a new one after every so many episodes, but all those episodes have something to do with it.
Yeah, season 3, when the Xindi thing is going on, every episode in that season is connected because they're doing one mission, right, to get to the Xindi.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, you get parts in Deep Space Nine where the Dominion War's happening and they're just fucking playing darts or whatever.
Like, oh yeah, there's episodes where they're like, let's go to Vix, and it's like, shouldn't we be fighting the Dominion? They're like, nah, Vix is cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
I mean, I guess.
Sounds cool, I guess. I guess we'll just do that.
And Enterprise doesn't get into that all that much.
No, they don't do that too much. But the first season is the first 2 seasons are very, they're slow. And I like it because I think it's neat to see, like, the conventions of Star Trek being put into this time period inside of the universe, you know? Like, there's episodes where, like, slowly Archer is figuring out, like, we can't act like this, right? Like, we can't do the things this way. So you see the beginnings of the Prime Directive being formed. You see the beginnings of, like, how Starfleet is going to, like, talk to people and deal with people, you know?
And there's, like...
So it's kind of cool.
The thing about Enterprise, though, is it's, like, it's slow, but it's slow for Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, Star Trek's already really slow.
Right.
As a series, so you have to have some patience for it, and I feel like last time I went at it, I just didn't have the patience.
Yeah, I think if you were to sit down and watch a bunch of them, I think you'd get into it. It's a groove that you get into. People complained about it a lot when it was on, and they said it was really slow. I think it's fine, but I'm more tolerant of stuff like that than most people, so... I can watch, like, really slow things. I'm fine with that.
We got a tolerant boy over here.
Tolerant half Vulcan.
Things.
Oh, this guy's tolerating stuff? Get out.
Get him.
Boo this man.
Boo.
You ever suck dick for marijuana?
You ever suck dick for weed? I
don't think so. Boo this man.
Oh my god.
That fucking movie.
Reference cast. Reference.
Throw him out.
It's, like, I'll admit when I make a mistake.
There's no mistakes.
No one ever makes any mistakes.
No, you don't. It's not a mistake. I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I'm sorry, Susan, who I cut in front of at the Value Mart. It was my mistake.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have done that.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. I knew about this Susan incident. She called me and told me about it.
Susan! It was between us!
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Damn. I'm not sorry, Susan, you bitch.
Damn!
No, like, I always shit-talk Enterprise, and I was especially shit-talking having to watch this pilot. But it was good. It was actually a really fun watch.
I think
somebody in the emails described it as like more like a Hollywood movie rendition of where like everything's fairly self-contained compared to other pilots.
Right.
And I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think you would really like Enterprise, honestly. I feel like there's no possible way that you couldn't like it, is what I'm saying to you.
Oh, I'll take that challenge.
I really, there are episodes that I know you would love. Like, you will love them.
I do need to, it's like the biggest blank spot, right? Like, besides, I guess, the animated series, which I've only seen, like, one episode of.
I've seen, like, a season of it, but I could not tell you anything that happens in that show.
If you've seen a season of it, I think you may have seen all of it.
Is it 2 seasons?
One season.
Oh, I thought it was 2. I thought, okay.
It might be 2. I don't remember.
They're cartoons, right? So you're like, oh. There's one where Spock, like goes back in time to meet himself as a kid. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah?
And he sees his Sailot, and he's like, oh, young Spock, make sure you're blah, blah, blah. And it's like real fucking 1970s hokey.
Like, the one I saw was they end up in, like, this weird dimensional pocket where, like, 1 million ships had been sucked in before as well.
Yeah.
And they have, like, a coalition of races that all, like, exist in perfect harmony in there.
Oh, wow. There's a Voyager episode like that. That's cool. I wonder if they took it from that.
Rip off.
They probably did.
How dare they steal Voyager's writing?
Exactly.
I don't know. Like, I want to like Enterprise, and I like this, so I feel like you're probably right. If I just sat down and gave it a long haul chance and didn't just stop, I feel like I'd be into it. Because I didn't get Voyager vibes even during the 10 episodes.
Oh, no, it's not. Like, okay, here's the thing. Like, if you can sit through all of Voyager, you can definitely watch all of this show. First of all, it's only 4 seasons, and it's way fucking better.
Yeah.
There's a fucking 7 Samurai episode of this show. It's great.
That's dope.
Like, it's just 7 Samurai. That's what it is. It's great.
It is great. I'm sure I'd like it. And maybe one day I will just sit and watch through all of it. But right now we have some collections to watch.
We do. What's our next collection?
Well, folks, we've gotten some examples of collections we can do. And what we're hoping to do is pick out like 4 of them at a time and have you guys vote on it on our Twitter.
Yeah.
Which is at MClassPodcast, by the way.
Oh, shameless over here.
Skilled is the word you're looking for. You'll vote on which of the 4 that you want us to do, and whatever wins we'll go with for our next set of for our next collection. But our actual next collection until we set that up and have you guys vote on it, is the Beard episode collection.
Oh shit!
Being 2 bearded gentlemen ourselves.
Yeah.
We both know the power of the beard to turn around not only a bad season of a television episode,
but a bad life.
But a bad lifetime.
We have epic beards, you and I, too.
Yeah.
Our beards are really crazy.
We actually do have really nice beards.
We're 2 amazing bearded men, is what I'm saying.
Fucking are.
So which ones are we going to do? We're going to do...
damn, I should have looked up the specific episode.
Yeah, the one in TNG, right, obviously.
First episode, Riker beard.
I like how our producing of the show is Googling things during the show.
Look,
that's my favorite part about this show.
Look, it's fine.
I just did it. I did it like 5 minutes ago.
Look, it's fucking fine, alright?
I think I know the Deep Space Nine episode when Cisco gets the beard. It's the one where he makes the ship, the Bajor ship.
Damn.
Is that correct?
I think it's right. I think the Pegasus is the first one.
Oh, really? Okay. Wow.
Fuck. Why am I so bad at everything?
It's all right. We'll figure it out.
But
It'll
we
be
have
a
to tell
surprise.
them.
Well, we could tell them on Twitter. They can follow us on M Class Podcast Twitter. Did I do it right? Did I skillfully do it right?
It's at M Class Podcast.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He did it right, everybody. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry your pretty little heads.
Everybody. He got it.
I got it. Shut up about it.
I'm just fucking trying to fill time so I can find out what episode.
Dude. Let's just say it's the Pegasus.
Then everybody will watch the wrong episode. That'll be good.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Well,
What if I look at it? First episode of TNG Riker Beard.
the second season premiere of TNG.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, that's the one.
Second season, episode 1, TNG. The Child?
Yeah.
The Child. Okay.
Okay.
We will be watching... Our next episode of M-Class Podcast will be Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 2, Episode 1, The Child.
Unless it's not that, and then we'll tell you what it is.
Oh, no. Look, that's what it is. We're just going to watch it.
We're just doing that one, no matter what. It does not matter.
And you'll find out which episode of Deep Space Nine we'll be watching at the end of that episode, because I'm not looking that shit up.
We'll figure that out later. Or not.
So, definitely watch that episode, even if we don't have an episode about it, because it's probably a good episode. Just watch it.
It's alright, I think. I remember it.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment to tell the world that in 12 days, isn't it, from the time we're recording this?
Sure.
Our boy Kevin Cole's video game is gonna be coming out. It's called Hack, Haque.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, look that shit up.
Yeah, check out Hack.
I wanted to give him a plug.
Yeah, today I think he just ported it to Mac, so if you have a Mac, you can play it.
Hell yeah. He's all over the place making big moves, baby.
Big money moves, man. That's what Cardi B says.
Yeah.
I'm making money moves. Cardi B. Next episode of M Class Podcast, we're just going to listen to Cardi B.
I'm fine with that. A note to everyone, if you would like to have an email read by the two handsomest boys on the internet.
Who are they? It's
you
us.
Can send it to M-Class Podcast. Oh, no, you can't, because somebody took it. You can send it to mclassemail@gmail.com.
M-Class email, singular.
Yeah, no S, because I'm a fucking moron. No S. mclassemail@gmail.com.
Do it.
A note is that we will not be releasing M-Class Podcast and M-Class emails on the same day anymore.
Yeah, suck a dick.
Damn.
Get over it, crybabies.
If everybody was really supportive of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Just suck your dick anyway.
Just do it. God.
We'll be releasing them on opposite weeks, so whenever this episode of M-Class Podcast comes out, you will have to wait one whole week to get M-Class emails.
For your pitch it or ditch it's.
Sorry, everybody. Have a good week.
See you next week.
See you next week for M-Class emails. And thank you so much for listening, everybody. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.